Hi everyone, welcome to yet another class of how to draw basic fashion figure. And today we are going to look at what is known as figure analysis, and it's the best way to learn about how bodies move, how figures behave when they turn, or the way it shifts to one side or the other. We saw some examples in the balance and movement video, and here today we are going to do uh, figures. We are going to look at figures which have turned, in the sense they are not in front view. If you look at this particular body here, she has turned. Yeah, she has turned away from you. She's not in front view. Okay, so there are some things that happen when a body shifts and turns. The moment she turns, this shoulder is moving away from you and this shoulder is coming towards you. Now the moment you do that, this one is going to be more bigger and this one is going to be less, smaller. Similarly, if you see this one, she's moved away from you, and because of that, this side is going to look smaller and the shoulder is going to look a little bigger. Same here. Another thing that happens is that the bust suddenly comes into profile, meaning you can see the curve of the bust clearly and you can see a bit of the back from here. So this bust is coming out and this is moving in and you're seeing a bit of her back. All these are actually bits of her back. This side is moved, so this leg is overlapping this one because you're looking at it from this side. Okay, you see some similar things happening here. You see the bust has moved. You can see her back. The lower body has not turned that much, because of which we are not seeing the overlap. This is a bit in the center, but the upper body has turned, because of which this is happening. Remember, we had discussed this before, that the lower part of the body has a pelvis bone. Yeah, the pelvic bone is here and it is connected to the upper body, which has a rib cage, only by the spinal cord. So this part of her body is connecting the upper and the lower part only by a spinal column. Now, which means most of this is only flesh and organs. So it can be turned and twisted easily. Yeah, and because of which the lower body is not turned as much as the upper body, and that is always a possibility. And that is what we learn as we do more and more figure analysis. If you see here, again, her lower body is mostly in front view. Now upper body has turned, because of which you see a bit of her bust over there. Her back here is not visible because her arm is coming in front. Here you can see it more clearly. You can see the bust. This bust has moved in. You can see a bit of her back. You can see a bit of the overlap because the lower body has also turned. So these are a few things and few observations that you will learn to make going forward. And let's go to the next step. I am going to trace her body outline. Now remember one thing, the human body has a lot of imperfections, bumps and dips and curves, which are all beautiful, but we are drawing a fashion figure which has a different aesthetic. It is smoother, it is more, the lines are more graceful, so to say, or the lines are more smooth. We are not taking exactly the human body with all its flaws, because we are going to make it much bigger than a normal human figure. So if you look at this particular figure, any of them, they would not be more than 7.5 heads tall, or max 8 heads tall. But we make the fashion figure as a 10 heads figure. You know that we've done that. So when we are looking at these figures, we are going to trace, when we do that, trace them in a much more simplified way, with smoother, fewer basic lines. Okay, so all of you can pick any of these figures. These are all figures picked from Pinterest, and they're easily available. You can download them, you can take a printout and use these. They are they simplify your jobs a lot, because they are you can see the body well. So thanks to all these ladies and Pinterest for enabling us to learn about the human figure. So in the next video, we will learn how to actually draw and trace out the outlines and go into making the fashion figure. Thank you, happy drawing, and see you in the classroom soon.